Hello, my name is Sai, and I'm here today to talk to you about a great project that your school has taken part in. You're going to create and design a resource pack with an artist who is coming to your school this June. The pack will be used by you and sent to all other schools. The pack is going to be about the Stephenson Trail, which is celebrating its 200-year birthday this year. 200 years is a long time ago, and you might ask, why are we celebrating this and why is it important? Well, did you know that the first complete steam railway in the world, designed by George Stephenson, started here, near your school? How cool is that? Nowhere else in the world had a train track as old as ours. The track was built in 1822. So, let's find out a little bit about who created this railway and steam engine and how you can keep the story alive. George Stephenson was born in 1781 and was known as the father of the railways. George was an inventor that changed all our lives. Why? Well, before trains, people had to walk everywhere or use horses and carriages. There were no planes, cars, motorbikes or scooters. George had 6 siblings and they all lived in one room in a house with lots of other families. They were extremely poor and had no money to send their children to school. George had a friend called Bill Thirlwall, and they played in the local stream and made model engines from the clay they found. George started working at 7 years old, looking after the local farmers' cows, and worked his way up to becoming an engine man. George realised he had to learn and paid his own money to study at night school. He couldn't read or write until the age of 18. At this time, our country was changing from being big farms to needing big factories, and to run those factories we needed a lot of coal. This was called the Industrial Revolution. George also had a famous son called Robert, who also created amazing machines, the most famous being the Stephenson rocket engine. Mines were hard places to work, and children as young as 5 would work down the mine from midnight until 8 o'clock in the morning. Thank goodness this stopped in 1842, when a new law came that stopped women and girls of any age to work underground, and introduced a minimum age of 10 for boys employed in underground work, which is still a very young age. Where George lived, there were lots of coal mines, and his father looked after the steam engines that helped get the coal up from the mines. The steam engines also were used to pump water from the pits. George learned a lot about steam engines and loved taking the engines apart to see how they worked. In 1819, George worked out that the steam engines worked better by being pulled on train tracks. He built the track, starting from Hetton Colliery, and worked its way all the way through the River Wear, and it was opened in 1822. 200 years ago. We live in such an amazing place with so much history. We even have a direct link to the royal family. Kate Middleton, who is married to Prince William, her great-granddad Thomas Harrison came from Hetton Le Hole and moved to London, and it's there where his daughter married and had another daughter, Carol, Kate's mum. Today, we don't have any more coal mines, but I'm sure you've heard stories and seen local statues and sculptures where you live. Well, we need to try to keep telling this amazing story of the first ever railway in the world to everyone. The railway track is no longer there, but there is a trail that you can walk and cycle along, which the council are going to clean up and make nice for you to go there with your friends and your family. So this is where you start helping keep the story alive. I'm sure you know what a resource pack is. Well, if not, it's a fun thing that you can do with your teacher to learn about lots of different topics, like doing nature walks with a sheet of pictures of leaves and bugs, or going on a trip to the zoo to find out about different animals. This is your chance to be a budding engineer or artist and create fun things for your class to do. We can't wait to start at your school and you get to choose the artist and be part of designing and making the packs. Our very own inventors. See you soon.